All right, so the correct size is actually 12. It's not a number 10. So now that the brake line has been disconnected from the brake caliper, now the next line to remove is going to be the fluid line. All right, now that the brake line has been disconnected, now it's time to take apart the bracket itself. So you can take off the brake by starting from here, the brake boot, onto the caliper, or you can leave the brake attached and just remove the entire housing itself. Now that the brake caliper is out of the way, it's more easier now. It's easier to remove the bracket out of place. And the bracket size is 17. For the top bracket right here, you're gonna need to use an extension. So you just use your 17 and an extension because it will collide right here with the bolt for the upper, for the control arm for the rear. Now I'm reassembling the new bracket and then the caliper and then the brakes, and then reattach everything, and then do the other side and then bleed the system. So now that the bracket is on, I went ahead and put on the brake pads. When put on the brake pads, this point always is supposed to be to the back. And on the front, so when you put it in the brakes, always remember to put the 2 pins that come with it in there, or you're gonna have failure without the pins in there. If your shield guard is in your way, you can use a flathead screwdriver to adjust the movements of it. So if it's too much up here, gap in here, you can push it down with a flathead to adjust it, to make sure these things are flat flushed in. Now when it comes on to putting on the rear brake caliper, you're gonna have to turn the caliper itself, meaning that you're gonna have to turn in here to align to the brake pad. So here must catch onto the brakes itself, right? So that's how it looks, and it must align with right here. So these two are to be aligned together. If it's not aligned together, it's not gonna fit. So right here, this button right here must be aligned with the space. So you have to turn it with a flathead or something to get it aligned. When putting everything back together, you're gonna need a 17 to hold the nut right here, and you're gonna need a 14 to tighten it on this side. One to hold it, one to tighten it. Now that everything is set, you go ahead now and you're gonna start to reassemble, putting back first the emergency brake, then you're gonna put back the line. But you don't have to breathe the brake as yet until when you finish everything as well. After putting back the brake, emergency brake, the way you took it off, right? First you hook it here, and then you push it down to bring it back to tighten it. Now let's reassemble the line, the brake line itself. Then you're gonna take off the vice grip. Once it's taken off, that's it. You're gonna leave it as it is for now, because you're gonna bleed the brake for later on. Now time for the driver's side. Now, the same thing that was done for the passenger side will be the same thing that is done for the driver side. Removing emergency brakes first, disconnecting hose first, applying the vice grip. Yeah, and the work will begin. So all that's left to do now is tighten everything. This is the new one and everything. Just gotta tighten everything now and bleed the system, and that's it. Bleeding the system means when I tighten and secure everything, I'm gonna pump the brakes a few times and come back here and release this valve right here. Every time I pump it, I release it until there's no more bubbles. So I'm pumping out all of the trapped air into the system. So once I pumped out all of the trapped air out of the system, or I can use my bleeder and bleed it out.